apologies for the hinky lighting. It's quite late, but I've just seen Veronica Rose's Inner Stories Tarot tag as part of Arwen Lynch's sort of tarot tag circuit that's going on. And I don't know, I had a bit of time. I thought I'd give it a go. So it's I'll link to her video in the down bar. So I won't go into a great deal of detail. You watch her video. It's well worth it. It's really quite fun to watch. I like the tag. Basically, we're looking at those stories we tell ourselves, the stories we live our lives by, the ones that sort of play in our heads or in our guts and sort of determine who we think we are, why we are, how we are, what we are. And it's a little tarot spread to have a look at one of those stories and perhaps unpick it a little bit and see if it really holds weight, if there's really any truth to it. First step, like she said, it's the first step, you know, once you've sort of identified a story with a few holes in it, yeah, then maybe you want to do a little bit more work and see what you can do to, yeah, cast it aside if it doesn't really fit anymore. So she was using, I think it was the Happy Tarot, which I thought was kind of a nice way of going about it, because this can be a little bit prickly. So I thought I'd use my equivalent, which is the Delos Tarot. So here we go. I'm going to be glancing over this way because I have her little spread up on my screen here. So the first card is the prologue. What inner story most needs exploring? So what have I got? Ugh. Oh, and for the people who are looking at this going, Judy, that's not one of the decks you said you'd be using in October. I know, but Vision Quest, I've never used it. It's really not suitable for something like this. This is outside of my regular day-to-day tarot use. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, first card. Stop delaying. Seven of Wands. That's interesting. I mean, that is somebody who is under attack, who feels like everyone is against them, isn't going to agree with them, like they're having to defend themselves all the time. Apologies, I do have a bit of a cough. I don't know, do I feel particularly defensive? I like to think that I don't. I like to think that I'm kind of like, well, you know, tough, you know, take me or leave me, I'm not really all that bothered. But maybe I do feel a bit defensive. Like, I have to live my life that way because people just aren't going to get me. They aren't going to agree with me. They aren't going to back me up. So I always have to be a bit prickly and a bit protective of myself. Don't know. Interesting. But then I wouldn't know, would I? Because this is all going on in my subconscious and I'm just sort of playing along without really thinking about it a great deal. So who knows? Anyway, so interesting. Second card is the backstory. How, when, why did the inner story start? Use as many cards as needed. Okay. How, when, why did the backstory start? Oh, bleh. I don't know. I can't really. How? Nothing is springing immediately to mind. Why do I feel like I have to be defensive? Because I have to have my shit together. I have to know what I'm doing. I have to be in charge. I have to be capable. I have to be proficient. And if people don't get me, don't agree with me, I have to be able to go it alone. And actually, to be honest, I have always been exceedingly independent. That was one of the traits my mother found particularly irritating. Can't blame her. It's not nice. You know, when you're somebody's mother, you know, you don't want them to be so independent that they don't need you. That's not true. I needed her, but you know what it feels like. What's my hair doing? There's something sticking out there. Random. Anyway, maybe that's it. It's this feeling of independence. Yeah, not quite getting that one. Anyway, first try. Never tried this before. Certainly never tried doing a reading about myself live like this. I think I did something for some minimum thing, but that's completely different. Excuse me. My nose is a bit drippy. Pardon me. So I'm coughing, I'm dripping. We're doing really well here. First day of October, and I'm coming down with my perpetual winter cold, presumably. Backstory. I did backstory. 3. What impact has the inner story had on you and your life? This is the journey. What impact has it? Ugh. It's made me feel dissatisfied. It's made me feel like I can't trust what I'm being given. I'm sort of separate somehow. It might actually be a little bit harder because I'm not actually looking at these cards. I'm looking at it through the camera. So I was connecting with the card. Yeah, it's like little glasses of beer. It's like everybody else is having fun together, and I'm kind of, you know, and even though they're offering me, look, here's a glass for you, I'm kind of sitting there feeling like, you don't really want me. I don't really fit in. I'll just sit over here by this tree and mind my own business, and you can all just leave me alone. This is fun. Should be doing something a bit more cheerful than something quite so soul-searching for general consumption, but oh well. 4. Climax. What is the most effective way to challenge the inner story? Ace of Pentacles. Grounding, reality, earthiness. Look at the card. Oh, there's little faces in that coin. It's almost like a little mirror with a bunch of little faces reflecting back at me. Except that I'm not so different. That I'm multifaceted. So these are either other people's faces looking at me, or they're my faces looking at me. That there's more to me than this person who feels like they don't fit in. Does that sound familiar, Veronica? Yeah. Lilies. Purity. I have to look at this a bit more. How will changing this inner story affect you in the future? Epilogue. Well, seeing as I didn't quite... Well, let's see if this card kind of... So I'm just taking an extra card for the climax. Page of Wands. We're back to Wands again. 7 of Wands. That feeling of attack. Page of Wands. Looking at my actions and discovering more about myself and my motivations, rather than just standing there with that stick in front of me and using it to fend off other people, actually examining it, and learning more about my actions and what motivates me, what my passions are. I don't know, this is all very disjointed. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Wands. This is one of those things that, you know, it's like people watching a game show. Everybody else is sitting out there going, I know what that means, I know what that means, it means blah, 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 blah. Yeah, why don't you get it? I'll go away and I'll look at these and it'll probably make a bit more sense. And if it does, I might post something on Instagram. All right, now we're going to stick to the epilogue, which is what will change in this inner story? How will changing this inner story affect you in the future? Oh, how weird. Veronica, do you recognize that card? Now, there's a card. There's a card of sharing. There's a card of sharing gifts. There's a card of reaching out to other people rather than... Sorry about that. Had a little reminder pop up on my phone and it cut out my camera. So, as I was saying, reaching out to people. Oop, lost the light. You don't need to see me. Rather than fending people off. I think I'm going to leave it there. This is quite difficult. It's not the sort of thing I normally do. But, you know, I don't... Reading live for myself or anybody is always a bit fraught for me. But no, that was quite good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching Veronica, so I wanted to give it a go. I like the spread. I like the concept. I will go away and have a little bit more of a look at these cards and try and get my head around them. But yeah, just as an example, hope you liked it, and I hope to see some more of these. It's quite fun. Talk to you later. Bye!